Morning, welcome along to another day at the MODUS Super Series. On this last week of darting action, before we have a little bit of a break for Christmas, although Matthew Edgar, it looks like Christmas has come early for you. Very fetching, I must say.
Yeah, I might turn the lights on at some point today so we get a bit of a flash as well. Very festive.
Oh, we'll look forward to that, and we'll certainly look forward to the action in this group. But before we do, let's reflect on what happened yesterday. Well, Willem Mandigers did start off pretty well. He beat Getty in his opening match of the day, but that turned out to be the only win for him. A good start followed by a decline for Mandigers. A slower start for Getty, Matt, but he managed to kind of turn things around a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't the best day for Getty. He'll be hoping to be a little bit better today, but like you say, did end the day quite well. This 91 finish here against Chris Landman. 2 darts gives him something to build on and something to get a bit of confidence going into today.
Yeah, that was bottom against top as well, and a lot of his defeats were narrow. As for Tony Newell, what did you make of him? Because he's a player who's had a tour card before.
Honestly, a little bit disappointing. We expect a bit more from Tony Newell on the basis of that tour card and what he's had in the past, and I expect a bit more from him today.
Glenn's tip was Richard Veenstra. Started off the day well, kind of middle of the road day. Played well enough, but I think won 3 out of his 5 matches. But this man really did stand out, didn't he?
Well, when you say that was Glenn's tip, Adam Warner's going to be most people's tip today after yesterday, because, like you say, standout performances on the stats and got better as the day went.
And level on points at the top of the table with Chris Landman, who was pretty consistent, all apart from that kind of surprise defeat to Getty. Let's have a look at the table now just to get confirmation of the positions overnight in the group. And as we said, Chris Landman top of it, level on points with Adam Warner. One player who was expected to be there, perhaps. Another player who's really taken everybody by surprise and the Super Series by storm.
Oh, massively. Adam Warner, what a story as well, and what a journey when we look at the limited amount of time he's been playing darts. He obviously started picking his darts up in the university, and then he's come here, he's doing very well. He was saying how much he's looking forward to this experience. He's certainly making the most of it, currently sat joint top of the table.
Usually on Tuesday we get a split in that table. Do you think it's going to be the top 2 running away, the top 3, maybe the top 4? Where do you see that kind of division coming?
I think the division's already there. I think this is what we're going to see. The top 3 and the bottom 3, I think, are already in position. I think it's just going to strengthen in terms of where they are with that. When we look at Adam Warner, and we look, not only did he catch our eye, Glenn Durrant said he was the standout performer of the day, but he's caught the eye of the viewers at home as well, because there's been a major market move on Adam Warner.
Yeah, Willem Mandigers, he looked decent in his first match, but it kind of went wrong for him then, and he's playing Adam Warner now, so it's kind of top against bottom, even though Chris Landman is top on leg difference. When the pair met yesterday, it was a comfortable win for Adam.
Yeah, and comfortable. What a great word, because I think that's the word that we're going to use really when we look at Adam from the first game. And this is dancing away, he's enjoying the experience. You must have loved the dancing, because like I say, you're the only one up here, and he's putting a show on for you, putting a show on for the viewers as well. Adam Warner played very, very well, comfortable. But is he as comfortable today? This is where we start asking questions, because yesterday there was no expectation. Today there is.
Well, Henry Deacon has been asking questions of Adam Warner. Here's what he had to say when he caught up with him earlier this morning.
Adam, welcome to the Super Series. How did you find your first day?
Overall brilliant, like much better than I expected. I think to come out those first 3 games I played, not playing particularly well, and to win 2 of them, arguably a bit lucky at times, but to come out of them just gave me a load of confidence for the last 2 games, and then the average went up by about 10 or 12 points for them. So if you'd have said before the day, I'm going to get 4 wins out of 5 on the first day, I'd have bitten your hand off. So yeah, really happy.
Was playing here anything that you expected it to be? Any preconceptions?
Yeah, I think it was probably about the same as what I expected. See, at first I talked about the sort of nerves slightly, and it's like you can see around here there's 4 or 5 cameras, and you're sort of, oh, I'm on telly, people are watching. But then sort of by the end, as you've done it a few times and you get into it, it becomes more relaxed, just like playing another tournament. So yeah, pretty much what I expected, I'd say.
You qualified through the ADC route. I know you're very new to the game as well. How much has that actually helped you progress?
Brilliant, because it gives a bit of context to the tournament. So before, you just go to a tournament, you'd win, you'd lose, and then that'd be it. Whereas with this, it's sort of like a ranking system. So if I go and win a tournament that's on the ADC, I get ranking points. I can see my name on a table. Oh, I'm 3rd, I'm 2nd. Let's try and get 1st. And then obviously that's led to qualifying for this. And they're doing the same next year with lots more opportunities to qualify for this and other things, and a lot of sort of cash injection as well. So yeah, really positive for the game, I think. Top work from Steve and Scott at the ADC.
We wish you all the very best today. Adam, good luck.
Lovely, thank you.
So Adam Warner, one of 2 ADC qualifiers in this group this week, along with Tony Newell, and really was a positive start for the Sheffield man. He takes on Willem Mandigers, who had a positive start himself yesterday, winning his opening match, but he lost his following 4. Can he put things right today, or will Warner's warm start to the Super Series continue? Let's find out. The first of 15 matches as described by Matthew Edgar, and a very good morning to Glenn Durrant.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Fascinating day yesterday. And wonderful listening to Adam there. I got the privilege of speaking to him, before he played, and he certainly surprised me. There was a lot of expectation on Chris Landman and Richard Veenstra, but for me, the player of the day was Adam Warner. I thought he was absolutely sensational. But totally agree with what Matt Edgar said up there. It's now that expectation now. Now he's playing a guy, Willem Mandigers, who I know very well from the BDO system. No, I don't know if his best years are behind him, which is strange to say to a lad who's only 33, but has graced the Lakeside stage 6 times, played at the World Masters 8 times, so the pedigree is with Willem. But for sure, yesterday when we chatted with him, his demeanour beforehand was his game's not in a great place ever since COVID, didn't practice through there, against the very inexperienced Adam Warner. And if you'd have asked me the question yesterday, who would win this game, I would say it'd be a comfortable win for Mandigers. But how wrong I was, as Adam was absolutely fantastic. But moving Tuesday, as we call it, and I've seen players at the bottom of the table, fly through the ranks, and that's what Willem will be doing. I chatted with him afterwards, and he wasn't too downbeat. Like I said, he's taken that old adage of it's a marathon, not a sprint, the MODUS Super Series, and let's hopefully we see the best of him, because he's a very, very talented player.
61.
And I suppose when we take that theory and we apply that to Adam Warner, have we seen the best of him? We don't know yet. He was certainly getting better as the day went, and looking more comfortable, looking more confident on that stage.
80.
I mean, you've had some interaction on Twitter with some of the uni lads that suggest we've nowhere near seen the best yet of Adam Warner.
And keep them coming, because it's interactions what we need. As we say that, as Willem fires in his maximum there. That's his 4th of the week. But yeah, keep the interaction. I quoted many times yesterday that Adam's only been playing a year, but rightly so. He's been playing a lot longer than that, but really only been travelling a year to achieve his dreams. But what a start that is for Willem Mandigers. A 14 darter, absolutely. And what I would say, though, he started like this yesterday, Matt, in the first game, and progressively sort of deteriorated as the day went on. So we did laugh and maybe joke a little bit. Chris Landman sort of dipped a little bit and was caught him eating a cheese roll at one point, and then he came out firing again. So I wonder if Willem's copied the same trait.
Well, he's from Holland, isn't he? They love a cheese roll for breakfast over there, and a boiled egg.
Yeah, the worst breakfasts, honestly. Whenever I went to the Dutch opener somewhere, I did not like the Dutch breakfasts.
84.
Absolutely delighted for Warner. And as I said, keep the questions. We want to know a little bit more about him. If there's more information we can chat about today. But
96.
Just the way he speaks as well. A very intelligent young man. He looks good. He looks good on the hockey. And he's not this quiet guy I spoke about, softly spoken. The messages I got, that's far from the truth. He's a real character.
60.
And we want to see that over the next few days, because he's the kind of player who will benefit so much from that this week.
You mentioned about the fact that people are saying he's been playing longer than a year. But, like you say, with that, one we class that he's only been playing for a year. We don't class picking up some darts at home or playing with your mates or having a few trucks down the local as playing. Playing is when you go out there and you're travelling, and you're playing the circuits, and you're, like he said in his interview, looking for those ranking points.
Yeah, and that was the point I was trying to get across yesterday. There's a big difference. I mean, I played darts, since I was 18. Played in the British Teenagers in the 80s, but really didn't start travelling until I was 41. So as far as I'm concerned, so treble 19. So treble, you'll look at the 18 bed now.
57.
And
requires 72.
for the fee of repeat myself, these are the type of finishers. And he was missing these yesterday, Willem. But what a start this would be if this top scores in. And I'm absolutely delighted for Willem. And he showed a little bit of emotion there. He's put to bed all the problems that he had yesterday because he was far, far from his best. And this is the Willem Mandigers that I remember. And this is the Willem Mandigers I'd love to see for the rest of the week.
$96.
Was he really a teenager in the 80s?
One of the best as well.
98.
A lovely action, Willem. But Matt was absolutely spot on yesterday. It was fascinating listening to Matt, who, like myself, we do study players, and he's going to try and help me with my throw again this week. Matt, but it was fascinating. Something that I didn't really pick up, the way that Mandigers wasn't finishing that follow-through and that transition of actually going to get his dart. His second dart was actually too quick, and he wasn't following through totally. Can you see how quickly that follow-through is there? That is so much better. And that is the Willem Mandigers that I remember. And when you stand behind someone as fluent as that, I never had a great throw, so I used to be a little bit jealous when I could see Mandigers do this. He'll go back upstairs now, Will Adam. And that's very, very sensible, because that does leave him a finish. But it's in the hands of Mandigers right now, and he looks in the mood.
I think that's one of the things that really was impressive about Adam yesterday. Not just the level of performance, but the level of intelligence, the level of approach to the game.
I like what he's doing there. He's not being rushed. He's not being dictated by the pace of Mandigers. And he's doing his thing. What a start to the day for Adam this would be. I like everything that I'm seeing right now. He hasn't taken his eye off the bullseye. Good luck, young man.
145.
Liking him every time I see him. I'm liking him even more. But Willem, you're in control. How are you feeling still? This is unbelievable darts. He's averaging 105 at the moment as Mandigers. And Adam's not doing too bad either. This is a game for the absolute purists.
Game on.
I was just watching Adam at the back of the stage. I think we do the same sort of thing in those sort of shots. And he was just sort of trying to peer over the top. It was like a meerkat in the background, trying to peer over so he could see the tops as he fires in his first 180 of the week. Despite catching the eye yesterday, surprisingly, didn't hit a single 180.
Yeah, that was a staggering stat as we were doing our preparation this morning. As much as we wax lyrical about the guy, his finishing was lovely yesterday with finishes of 110 and 107.
45.
Really complimented there with that 170, but his finishing, but we were surprised to see that there was no 180s.
Could you imagine if the first 180 he had was followed by the second 180 and he was on the 9 darter?
How good would that be? But Mandigers, impressive stuff. Both averaging in excess of 106 right now.
Well, you spoke very highly of Willem Mandigers yesterday before we even went on air and when we went on air as well. And he's sort of showing now what you was trying to get across, what is in the locker.
He's a quarter-finalist of Lakeside. You know, he
22.
You know, when I was doing his research on him this morning, you know, a lot of his good darts were in 2019, which is not that far away. Last 16 of the World Masters, last 8 of the Worlds at Lakeside. I think he likes Turkey as well, because he's won the Turkey Open and the Turkey Masters. 43. And in 2018, he won the Denmark Open, which is very, very tough. It's one of the competitions where a lot of the UK travel, but this is brilliant. And just all about that, for me, just that relaxation of the follow-through. I wish I could take some credit that I had a word with him and saying this is what I picked up yesterday, but when I did chat with him as I left the building yesterday, he was very philosophical. And he's, like I said, it's a marathon or a sprint, and he might have needed yesterday.
140.
But this is great stuff from Warner. Super impressed with the young man. 2 doubles.
60.
It's a fantastic last start, and it's these 2 dart combos where Adam will find out what he's really made of.
Game show number 4.
Gets his first leg on the board. Puts a bit of resilience there, but that was a holder throw he is going to need to break his. In fact, he's going to need to be perfect from 3-0 down to turn this around. We saw quite a lot of turnarounds yesterday in the scoreline. So Adam will be hoping that continues. And I was just thinking back to what you were saying in the last leg there about
55.
the titles that Willem Mandigers has won. And it's interesting because they're all very tightly bunched to when that COVID window happened. And I think back to the conversation we had with him yesterday. He said, as soon as COVID came, he sort of put his
81.
darts down. Has that window completely derailed that form? Because the titles he was winning gold-ranked events, things like the
59.
Denmark Open. Was he on the climb and then COVID has just completely sideswiped him?
Yeah, I think he said he got very lazy in COVID. But he's got one of them throws that you just feel like, you know, it doesn't need as
85.
much practice as someone who's got more of a manufactured throw. Because when he gets it right, this is the Mandigers I remember. And that's his fourth max.
180.
He's already beaten the amount of 180s he had in the whole of yesterday. And do you know what? I'm really, really happy to say, I must admit, I've got a real fancy for Adam. He was a great story yesterday. This is unbelievable.
180.
The stats are through the roof. Incredible. Well done, boys. This is wonderful to watch.
165. Adam, you require 155.
I think that was a miscount there. I think treble 17 should have been the shot. And we have talked about, is he match sharp? But yeah, you can't fault him at the moment.
59. Willem, you require 42.
It's a 42 for Mandigers.
Game shot.
Unbelievable
and the
opening
match.
match of the day. Let's hope the
Willem
rest of the day is
Mandigers.
like that. But a very highly commendable performance from Mandigers. He was sat bottom of the table going into this game. He'll be feeling good for himself, and that's only good for the league. Look at them stats there. Unbelievable match. Next up, top of the table, Chris Landman against Tony Newell.
Good morning. Don't tell me you slept in and missed that first match because it was red hot. An excellent battle between Willem Mandigers and Adam Warner. Doesn't look like a battle in terms of the scoreline, 4-1 to Mandigers, because he hit 4 out of 4 on his doubles, but both players averaging in 3 figures. Warner, who won 4 of his matches yesterday, coming off stage and saying that was the best he's played all week, but Mandigers was absolutely brilliant. Glenn Durant saying that is the Mandigers that he remembers, 103 average, 4 180s, 2 from Warner in there as well. That is an electric start to the day's action here at the MODUS Super Series on this Tuesday. And it might well be followed by another decent game. First, we'll take a look at how that affects the Group A table. And it means that Mandigers is off the foot after doubling his points tally, leaving Warner in second place and giving the opportunity now for Chris Landman to pull clear by a couple of points. He's going to take on Tony Newell in the second match of the morning. When the pair met yesterday, it was Landman who landed the winning double, getting the better of Newell, as he did against everybody apart from Luke Getty, winning 4 of his 5 games. But Tony Newell, a very experienced operator, a long time on the PDC tour, and one of the ADC qualifiers this week, along with Adam Warner. And Henry Deacon caught up with a man nicknamed the Bear a little earlier this morning.
Tony, day 2 for yourself here at the Super Series. How did you find the first day?
Yeah, a bit inconsistent, but happy to come away with 2 wins with the way I was playing. But yeah, could do better, hopefully today.
Was Monday a day where you can just kind of fine-tune things, work things out? Now you've got the couple of victories on the board. It gives you a chance going into day 2.
Yeah, I've not been playing a lot recently, so yesterday it was nice to get a day's worth of darts under my belt and hopefully attack today.
Qualified via the ADC. You won the Championship Tour Series in 2022. Just talk about that and talk about your year in general.
Yeah, I went to Q school. It was a disappointing one for me. And then I just haven't played darts really a lot this year. And then the ADC came up with the tour events. So started following that, went to the first, well, my first one, won that, followed the ADC route, got to the Championship Tour finals, and yeah, managed to win it. So it's been probably my most successful year regarding winning tournaments to date.
So how nice would it be to try and add this to the list and the collection?
This would be brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You know, there's some very good players back at hand coming in the rest of the week, but, you know, there's only 12 of us. One of us has got to walk away with it, so.
We wish you all the best, Tony. Good luck.
Brilliant, thank you.
Well, the pair met in the penultimate game of yesterday, and there was some superb scoring in it, including 5 180s. That's more than a quarter of Monday's total tally in one match. It's already been bettered today, though, in the first match of the day, which saw 6. So can we carry on the count? Let's find out with a couple of men who have hit a maximum or 2 between them. Over to Glenn and Matthew.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, follow that, guys. But if anyone can follow it, the way Chris Landman played yesterday, he was absolutely sensational. But it wasn't a shock to many people. I did speak with Chris yesterday morning, and he has said he's playing the dart of his life right now, and it's really, really good timing for him. But was very, very happy with it. The whole setup at the MODUS Super Series. He said it's very conducive to wonderful dart. And that previous game there, I think me and Matt are still sat here in a bit of shock because it was absolutely outstanding, and I was absolutely delighted for Willem Mandigers, and I virtually wrote him off in my pre-interview regarding the week. But will Landman start like he did yesterday? See diagram B.
Yeah, that first game, I think the only way to describe it was faultless, because there's always those moments in it where someone comes to the board, like the 72, where you get one dart in hand, and
140.
every opportunity was taken in that last one.
And it was just nice because he didn't sulk yesterday, Willem, and he just, he accepted it was probably a good day's work for him. And we did talk yesterday, without taking too much credit, we did say that people can, and in particular Willem, could play himself into form. I didn't expect him for it to happen so soon. And if I remember rightly, yesterday his best game was his first game. It was the deterioration afterwards, so maybe he might have done
45.
a few changes. But Landman, this is unbelievable.
60.
And that would have been for an 11 darter.
Yeah, I'd like to see how the day goes. Like you say, it has been same story at the moment for Willem in the fact of starting the day well. Will it be the same story for him? Will it be Same story for Chris Landman, which is winning. Winning was something he was able to do quite a bit yesterday. He won this game 4-2, average 93. Tony Newell said in his interview, inconsistency was his problem yesterday, and when you look through his stats and his numbers for the day, you can only agree it was highly inconsistent from a guy who's picked up a few titles recently.
On the first leg.
7 darts at the double there. I did talk a little bit about my knowledge of Chris, and I think he can score with the, most people.
Game on.
But if there was an area he could improve, it was round his doubles. He proved me wrong an awful lot yesterday at times, but he won't be happy with that stat of 1 from 7 on the outer ring.
35.
Enjoyed listening to Tony as well. It was pretty much our assessment, Matt, where he didn't play